Welcome to AIM High School, grades 6 through 12. It's been my experience that the greatest motivating factor for young people is the possibility of success. We foster this possibility with small class sizes that provide our faculty the opportunity to get to know our students and their families on a personal level. This allows us to tailor curriculum to each student's interests, skills, and needs. We believe it's important for students to laugh, share their opinions, and to advocate for themselves. Our after-school clubs and homework groups help students succeed academically while developing friendships and improving social skills. From writing essays to discussing global issues, from practicing the keys of healthy living to conducting meaningful science experiments, we deliver a college-ready curriculum that encompasses academic, social, emotional, and physical education for 6th through 12th grade students. We would love to show you around, perhaps have you sit in on a few classes, and find out if AIM High School is right for your student. Come join us.
It was just so different. And as soon as I walked in the door, and at that time I think Stephanie Ritter was here, and she was an angel. It was such a peaceful place. And Brooklyn is the kind of young lady who she feels everything immediately. And as soon as she walked in the door and I looked at her smile, I knew we were in the right place. It felt like a place where she belonged. And as I met the teachers and went around the school, it just seemed like the perfect fit for her. And I said a prayer in my head like, please God, let this be.
Her parents came in and did a tour first, a little open house walk around with Stephanie Ritter. And they instantaneously, from the time they walked out to the time they told Jill to the time
Right.
she told me, was, we need to go here. Period.
Right. They literally were in the car, in the parking lot, calling me and saying, I was at work, my mom and dad were on speakerphone and saying, oh my gosh, you have to go there. You have to go and meet with them.
And
especially Grandpa. Grandpa's
Yes.
a tough sell. So for him, he was like, this is it.
And we came for a visit, and I hate to say the rest is history, and again, Andrew was right on when, during that first visit. I mean, he seemed kind of interested, but was sort of like, yeah, okay, here we go. It's a school. But it's not a traditional school. And I think that's one of the things that really made it stand out for us. Definitely the smaller class sizes, the involvement by the staff and the administrators, just huge difference.
Everyone's in a little bit of a different spot, which is completely okay, and that's not a problem because some of us need more time on some sections, and then other people can zoom faster through them, and then we all take our tests and stuff at different times, and sometimes we all meet up, but I really appreciate and value that I'm able to work at my own pace, especially in the classes that I struggle with more, because then I can actually learn things instead of just be able to grasp enough of the surface to maybe score a passing grade on a test. But now I feel like I know things and I retain things because I'm able to work at my own pace.
He was doing where he was, what he was good at, what he needed to develop, and exactly what they thought of him instantly. And for us, that's good, and that's what the other thing too is. It's not just come here and troubles just vanish. They do go away, but when there are the bumps in the road that happen, you work through them together. And
It's a team approach.
Absolutely.
Definitely a team approach where the communication is there, where we'll come with ideas that we have tried before or what the teachers have thought might work. And that's probably one of the biggest things is that, they're willing to try different things. They're willing to look at different options.
Go to high school, and I was in panic mode. I'm like, oh, she can't just go to any high school. And because she has physical disabilities as well, I always had to look at that safety piece because I didn't want her to be, even if they gave her a one-on-one parapro, I just couldn't imagine her being in a school system or in a school environment that had 3,000 or 4,000 kids. It just seemed like, man, she's going to get, ran over with all of those kids. So it was important that I found a place that was a little more contained, but that would still accommodate her and give her the high school experience.
Well, for one thing, the classes are smaller and the teachers are more receptive. If you only have a class of 4 students, they're 4 individuals, and you can get to know them. You're not trying to manage chaos with 30 children.
The staff and the teachers here really resonated with Andrew, and I think it's probably their outstanding commitment, but they really took the time to you know, get to know Andrew when he first started here. You know, they were very cognizant and understanding if he was having a bad day or a bad week.
Until these last few years, that I haven't had the most anxiety and worried in the beginning of the school year. Every school year beginning was just another, oh dear Lord, what are we going to have? What's going to be the obstacle? What are going to be the problems? Am I going to get calls? Am I going to have to leave work? Am I going to have to, you know, are we going to be having arguments with teachers in the school district? Since coming here, I drop him off in the morning that first day of school, and he's like, bye Mom, see you when you get home. I'm like, bye Thomas, have a great day. And he comes home and he's like, okay. And I'm like, how'd your day go? Went great. Did this, did that. I'm like, and I think that is a reward. Like, oh my gosh, you know.
Another thing is that the teachers would talk to each other. So if Theo has a really bad hour in a class, that teacher can tell the teacher in the next class, hey, this is what happened. Theo's a little, you know, nervous, or Theo's upset. And that's able to go through his whole day. And when he had a really rough class, that English class, that teacher was able to email me directly. That teacher was able to talk to Theo's group of teachers that had him that day, and they were all able to respond. He had one bad class instead of a whole bad day.
Definitely the involvement of the teachers and getting to know my teachers, because in a classroom where there's only 8 people, I can talk to the teacher and know them as a person, and I think that personal rapport kind of helps to make me care about the work, because if I know the person who's assigning it, and I know that if I mess up on one assignment and I like know how they're gonna grade it, or know that I can talk to them, it makes me more motivated to want to actually do it, because it gives me a little bit of leeway.
All I could do was just sit back, and I was trying not to tear up my makeup and my clothes, because I was just watching her, and just the confidence, and you know, just her being comfortable in her own skin, sitting at that registration table. And I wasn't there. I was just across the room, you know, watching her, and it was amazing. And I could see just that confidence and the development in her social skills, and just being comfortable in her own skin.
And she kept texting me. And, you know, back at the old school, that would usually mean that I have to call her out of school and go and pick her up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't want to do that. And so I contacted the school and I said, okay, I'm getting these texts from Elise. And someone said, okay, we're going to send someone in to just check on her.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been introduced to a lot of things I wouldn't have if I stayed in my own school. I probably wouldn't have gotten as into like game programming or tried out that much 3D modeling or anything.
That's true, that he's able to pursue things that really interest him.
Yeah.
And being on the ASD spectrum, that's very important, because just general classes, you've got one size fits all, and he's just not working that way. That's not his thing. So it was much easier for us to have him do well in an environment that was able to be modified for him.
I've been able to start tutoring here, and that's really helped me not only with my own academic studies, but like helping me find like a path to follow, because before in the past, like I was like, I don't really know what I want to do with my life, but now I'm kind of leaning toward the teaching route.
The classes for me in general are just fun. I like them a lot. Yeah. There's nothing really in particular that I'm just like loving. It's just like I love every single class.
Yeah, so, you know, we had a long weekend or something.
Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, and I remember, I think it was on a Saturday or something, she said, oh, I can't wait to go back to school.
Yeah.
This weekend is too long.
Yeah, I go,
I've never heard that
I'm so
before.
bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think being a mother and being very protective of him, I'm very critical on schools, even for my daughter. And I will say this is probably will be the only school that I will ever praise to the point that I have praised. People, and I'm like, oh my gosh, aim high. I'm like, sit down, let me tell you all about it.
And even people who don't have children that would ever come here for different reasons. They think it's groundbreaking. It's amazing because
Right.
it's basically saying, look, these children all have different abilities, different challenges, whatever they may be, but they're all treated just regular every day. And even talking to people who have no kids, they're like, wow, that's awesome. Can I go there? Can I do that?
And to finally discover a place and to see your child beaming to go into that place every day. There are no words to describe what that feels like as a parent. And I just thank God every day for AIM High School. It is a special, special place.